Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Abingdon-Avon High School in Abingdon, Illinois for IHSA Class 1A Sectional Semifinal number 1. It is Camp Point Central, the Panthers, and the Patriots of Peoria Heights High School. I'm Dwayne Hulett alongside for the first time, and I don't even know how long, Jake Croxton. It's been a long time.
I was trying to think about that on the way over here. I think the last time I was in this gym was 2003.
Yeah, and it hasn't been that long, I don't think, since you and I did a game or something together, but pretty close to it probably. It's been a long time.
It's been a while.
Of course, if you guys know the name Jake Croxton, he's the PA guy for BPC and Macomb, and 20 straight years for the holiday tournament at the Macomb Western Holiday Tournament in Macomb, Illinois. Celebrated that this year, and ideally a pretty good 4 teams here. The surprise, I think, of the sectional is the team that just came back on the floor wearing white tonight, Peoria Heights.
Peoria Heights, they were at BPC. I got to see them on the 2nd of February. Their offense flows through Cameron Williams. He's going to be the guy to watch, number 3. He's the senior leader. Their head coach, Jimmy Jordan, is part of the Chuck Grant coaching tree from Monmouth-Roseville. And generally, they get the most out of a team. They take their lumps early in the season if they have to, and they peak at the right time. If you look at their results, they've done that this year. They played Peoria Christian, another team in the sectional, twice this year. In November, they lost 66-25, and then they came back in January and lost on a three-pointer with 5 seconds left. They've played Illini Bluffs twice. They lost by 20. And then they played them to 2 overtimes in the semifinals of the IHSA tournament. Didn't quite pull that one off, but the big one was Princeville. They played Princeville 4 times this year. They lost in the Peoria Heights Thanksgiving tournament. They lost at Princeville by 3 in December. They lost by several, 3 scores basically, in the Princeville Holiday Tournament. But the big one was February the 23rd. That was the regional championship and a 5-point victory to upend the number 1 team in the subsectional. And now Peoria Heights is here to play the Central Panthers.
Well, when you say Coach Grant disciple of sorts, you know that team is going to get better every practice, every game, as the season goes along. That's what Coach Grant was known for, and obviously his coaching tree is doing the same thing.
And that's exactly where they're at now. I'm going to say it whether you want me to or not. It's kind of like asking the prom queen for a dance, and you get her on the floor, and now it's time to figure out what to do with her.
Yeah, they've gotten here. Can they do anything with it? You know, we look at the other side, team wearing black tonight, and it's Camp Point Central Southeastern, a team they're not Southeastern anymore. That shows how old I am, Camp Point Central. But they started the season late. They won a state championship in football. So a lot of these kids, most of them, play football. They start basketball late. They take the season to get going. They took some lumps. You know, when everybody else was kind of hitting their prime, they were still getting their feet under them, and then they hit their prime, and then they had that mid-season lull kind of late in the season, but now have rebounded to play a couple pretty good games in regional and find themselves in the section.
Well, and they lost their last 2 games of the regular season, but they lost them against sectional qualifying Macomb in 2A, and they lost against sectional qualifying Winchester West Central, who's 31-3. So even though you might not take away the win in those games, that prepares you for games like tonight right here. And it's definitely going to be a contrast in style. This is a James Barnett team that'll play intense defense. They'll beat you up, and they'll beat you 44-40 if they want to.
Yeah, and that's the kind of offense they play. But the name you're going to hear a lot from Camp Point Central is Nick Moore. Their offense goes as Nick Moore goes. When they beat Rushville Industry in the semifinal round, it was a really close game until the third quarter when Nick Moore came to life. And the game against Delavan, Nick Moore came to life early, and they ran away early. So we'll take a break, and we'll be back here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, right after this.
I went through MDH when we were trying to get pregnant. We were struggling the first year, and then when we got pregnant, I stayed at MDH and through labor and now for pediatrics. My experience was nothing short of phenomenal. I was met with amazing staff members who helped me through concerns that I had when she was first born, helping me learn how to be a new mom. It was really reassuring and comforting knowing that I had so much support and kindness around me. My entire pregnancy at MDH was amazing.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a Leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
Well, I've always had an interest in the medical field, and then growing up, I actually went through physical therapy myself for an injury, and that got me back to playing my sports and the activities that I loved. So seeing that firsthand, I got to see how much physical therapy could really benefit others.
And welcome back to Abingdon-Avon High School Sectional Semifinal number 1 for the IHSA Class 1A Sectional here between Peoria Heights and the Panthers of Camp Point Central. We'll let you hear the starting lineups here real quick, and then we'll go over them a little bit after that. Well, I said that, Jake, and they're going to do the
Sportsmanship announcement.
Yeah, that's the important part of the game, right?
Now let's introduce today's starting lineups. First for Peoria Heights. Senior number 2, Finn Heath. Senior number 3, Cameron Williams. Freshman number 10, DeAndre Marks. Junior number 12, Cameron Ahart. And junior number 21, Barrett Marfell. Peoria Heights is coached by Jimmy Gordon and assisted by Andrew Ferrara, Andrew Robertson, and Justin Smith. And now for the Camp Point Central starters. First, senior number 3, Nick Moore. Senior number 21, Gavin Blewett. Senior number 24, Drew Haven. Sophomore number 32, Caden Niekamp. And junior number 33, Elijah Annenbacher. Camp Point is coached by James Bartlett and assisted by Andy Adler.
Well, the starting lineup for the Camp Point Central Panthers, not much of a surprise to me. The Patriots starting lineup, a few changes from what we kind of expected to see.
A little different than what we saw at Bushnell-Prairie City. It looks like they went with some height a little bit and maybe a little bit of youth and enthusiasm.
Youth and enthusiasm is never a bad thing. It's going to be, let's Blewett in there to jump it up, and also number 3, Cameron Williams. As we are ready to go here, Pabin with it to start things off as we are underway. First quarter action here. And down low, it's Niekamp, the sophomore, misses the shot and rebounded by the Patriots. They'll go the other way on the hands of Barrett Marfell. So there's the freshman. It was a little bit of a surprise, I think, to us. DeAndre Marks in the lineup to start for Peoria Heights. Early here, man. Probably nothing that's a big surprise from either team defensively or offensively, I don't think, is there, Jake?
I don't think so yet. It depends on what Peoria Heights does here working the ball.
And a shot off, no good for Barrett Marfell. And back the other way it comes, and tipped away and lost by Ginenbacher and then stolen away by Drew Pabin. Had a nice conversation with Drew's grandfather before the game as they were walking in. The nice black painted cowboy hat. He's been wearing that at every game we've seen him at this year. I'm sure that's some sort of a good luck charm.
It's a long ways up here from Camp Point. Looks like they traveled well on the other side.
Yeah, they did. They do travel well. They're used to winning in everything they do, and they're wanting to get a win here tonight and a chance to take on either Peoria Christian. And down low it goes to Niekamp again. Ginenbacher, he can hit the 3. He takes the 3 and he makes the 3. First basket of the game goes to Elijah Ginenbacher.
And if they can share the ball like that and end up with a 3 on the other end, it's going to be a long night for the Patriots.
First 3 of the game come to the Panthers. 6:17 to go, as you can see on the clock, and it nearly stolen away. Blewett's going to fight for it. Man, they are letting them play out there, and that's going to go off of Blewett, I do believe. Oh, no. It's going to be off of Cameron Ahart. And Blewett will inbound. 6:09 to go. Nick Moore for a long two, and it's good. It's 5-0 Panthers.
And that's the shot that he's been working on, if you paid attention to the Chris Dewar report on KHQA, that mid-range jumper, and that's 2 points for Nick Moore.
5:55 to go. Marks with it. He goes right side to Williams, who has been quiet thus far. He goes on the drive against the other number 3, Moore. Now Ginenbacher with a steal. He pushes it back the other way, nearly loses it, throws the left-hand layup off, no good, and then that was Blewett and Niekamp fighting for it. Live chat's open. Hop in there. Tell us where you're watching from and who you're cheering for. There's Williams for 3. It's well off the mark. And then Ginenbacher loses the basketball. The freshman Marks is there to take it back. Crossed into the lane. Nice pass. Nice look. Nice finish. The first bucket of the game goes to Cameron Ahart. I can't talk. But hop in that live chat. Tell us where you're watching from, who you're cheering for. Also, share the link if you would. Let your friends know where you're watching tonight's sectional semifinal. 5:05 to go now here in quarter number 1. Pretty low scoring. We were watching the other TSSR Game Time live game, Jake, before this one started. The end of the third quarter, just 21-17 in 2A semifinal action in Canton.
And at this rate, that's pretty much what we're going to see here. This is what Camp Point Central does well. They slow the ball down, take a couple minutes off the clock, and find the best shot.
There's Ginenbacher going to try another 3, and he's going to hit another 3. 2 trays for Elijah Ginenbacher, and it's 8-2. The Panthers lead here in quarter number 1. And I might point out, I talked about the score, 21-17 at the end of 3. It was Peoria Notre Dame leading Rock Ridge. Rock Ridge, the number 1 seed, and they're going to call a foul before the charge. I don't think they're going to call it on. It's going to be on Moore. Oh, it's going to be on Ginenbacher, his first, team's first. I want to say hi to Brian Jordan watching from Tinley Park. Lindsay Schaefer watching. It's always good to have Lindsay in the live chats. She goes from being a BPC fan to a Panthers fan in the postseason. There's a nice bucket again for Cameron Ahart.
We were worried about Ahart getting into the starting lineup. Proved us wrong. He's got 4 points.
And Marks has been handling the basketball, so some changes as they've went through the season, obviously. But as you get into the postseason, right, that happens pretty regularly. As Pabin puts up the jumper, leaves it short. Chance to cut a 2-possession game to 1 here.
Well, and against a defensive team like the Panthers, that extra hand to handle the ball is what's important.
And a foul going to be called. That might be on Ginenbacher as well. Either Moore or Ginenbacher. We'll see who they call it on. It's going to be on Nick Moore, his first, team second. I want to say hi to Jeremy Lee in Yankton, South Dakota watching.
If it's going to get as cold as they say it is here tonight, you know it's cold up there.
In South Dakota, that is right. I saw a graphic earlier today, and Southeast Iowa it was 71, and Northwest Iowa it was 25, I think it was.
That's coming this way.
Free throw line jumper by Williams off, no good. Ginenbacher with the rebound. He pushes it back the other way. He gets tripped, no foul called. That's okay. Peterson come up with it. 3 on the way by Moore is off, no good. Peterson with the rebound, and then Ahart kind of threw it back at Peterson, who was out of bounds, but the foul is going to be called on Cole Peterson, number 30, the first sub of the game, and he's got his first, team's third. Jeremy says it snowed in South Dakota already, and it's 19 degrees there right now. It was 60-some when we came in, but I bet it's not going to be that warm when we leave.
It's supposed to be 18 for a low if you're keeping score at home.
If it's 19 there already, it's going to be a lot colder than that by morning. Williams loses his footing, but gathers it back up. Never lost the dribble. That's how you know you're a good ball handler, right?
That's right. Ooh. Cole Williams just got a little bit too much contact over the back there.
Fouls on Cole Peterson. His second, team's fourth, with 3:11 to go. Niekamp back in. Cole Peterson leaves. Still the same 5 on the floor for the Patriots. No subs as of yet. The only sub, there's a 3 on the way by Williams. It's off, no good. There's a lot of contact down low, but it's tipped way out, clear to half court, and Ginenbacher came up with it for the Panthers. He's going to come up top to Blewett, and then it's going to go off Blewett and then off Niekamp. And you kind of wonder right there, Jake, which one was that for, actually?
You had two guys in the same spot, and it was a transition deal, and it didn't work out for Camp Point this time. There's your first sub for Peoria Heights.
And into the game is going to be number 4, Brody Jones, a junior. I want to say hi to Larry, watching from Evanston, Illinois. .253 left in the first quarter. That's Heath with it. Finn Heath, that's the first time we've said his name tonight.
It is. Oh.
Still with the basketball. Put up the mid-range jumper about 13 feet, and it's good. Finn Heath gets his first bucket. First player not named Ahart to score. For the Patriots, anyway, I should say. Ginnenbacher's got 6 for the Panthers on the strength of 2 3-pointers. He's down low now. Oh, he tries, probably could have put that up. Now Ahart's going to throw that off of, or no, excuse me, Marfell is going to throw that off of Blewett, out of bounds.
Good heads-up play there by Barrett Marfell. He's going to inbound the ball here to Heath.
He'll walk it up the floor and then give it back to Finn Heath. 2:05 to go. And a long time to get to the crossed half court. Marfell with it.
Cameron Williams is doing everything he can to get open, but he's got the #1 assignment from Nick Moore tonight, it looks like.
Yeah, Nick Moore is a shutdown defender. There's zero doubts about that. You can ask, a foul's going to be called on Niekamp, I do believe. It is Niekamp's first, second, team's 5th.
2 fingers meaning the bonus.
Oh, his first, team's 5th, gotcha. So a couple free throws coming for Finn Heath. But we're talking Brockhouse for Delavan lit up Southeastern. Scored his 1,000th point against Central, but only ended up with 9 points, I believe, against Central. And Drew Pabin and Nick Moore just harassed him all night long. Drew Pabin is one of those kids, undersized a little bit, all-state football player, and just flat out can make things happen. We're tied after 2 free throws.
What Pabin lacks in height, he makes up for in speed.
Speed and heart, for sure. He plays as hard as anybody. And that's kind of the case with this Central team. There's Blewett with it down low. Nice pass from Ginnenbacher. Bank shot is good for number 21, Gavin Blewett. And back to a 2-point lead. Cameron Williams has been quiet. He dumps it to Marfell, and is that, nope, that's not
Ahart.
Marfell, it's Ahart. And he's got 6 points. Nick Moore with it. 10-10's the score. 1 minute remaining here in quarter number 1. No timeouts, very few subs. A couple free throws is about it. That shot's off by Blewett, no good. Ball tipped around, and Niekamp's going to come up with it. 40 seconds remaining. And I think Coach wants one shot here probably.
Yeah, he put up 1 finger. I think he called North Carolina. That is their hold till 10 seconds formation.
And if you're not going to come out now, Marfell is going to come out and at least maybe get the count. Brian Sullivan, the referee over there, is going to give him the count. 15-14, as Jake said, wait until about 10 seconds, and they'll go here, and here we go. See what they come up with. Pabin's going to drive, dump it right side more right elbow jumper. Well off the mark. 4 seconds left. Williams from half court, the runner. Ooh, it was close, but no good at the end of 1 quarter of play. It's 10-10 here at Abingdon-Avon High School, as the Patriots and the Panthers tied at 10. We'll be back after this on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
At Western Illinois University, Leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a Leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
Welcome back to Abingdon-Avon High School, as we are at the end of quarter number 1, and we're going to start all over again, aren't we, Jake? Because it's tied 10-10.
Well, we saw this last week with the girls sectional at BPC. There were a lot of nerves in the first quarter for pretty much all three games of that. We saw a little bit of that here, and I think now everybody's starting to settle in. Haven't settled anything on the scoreboard, and we'll have 3 good quarters here.
I want to say hi to Boss Man, watching from Raleigh, North Carolina. Says he has nephews playing on the team. Not sure which team, but he's got nephews playing. So thanks for joining us from Raleigh, North Carolina. We appreciate it. Panthers will have the possession from now as the possession went to the Patriots to start the quarter. Nice look cross down low, and man, Pavin might have got away with one right there as Marfell missed the shot, but it looked like Pavin had a whole lot of ball or arm, one or the other on the backside.
That again went through Williams, and he got as close as he thought he could with Nick Moore playing defense on him, but once he got there, he couldn't get the shot off.
Now Williams, though, is going to get the steal, or is that Finn Heath over there? Nope, that was Williams. They got the same haircut, and the 2 and the 3s don't look that different to a blind guy up here. And a fadeaway off, no good. Blew it with the rebound. Williams having trouble with Moore. Pavin's going to force one up. He can't get it to fall. Williams with a rebound. It was knocked back by Jones into the hand of Marfell. Marfell now has tipped away by Ginnenbacher as he was looking for Ahart. 6:58 to go in the second quarter.
And DeAndre Marks is going to come back in. Ball handling was an issue on that last time. He was doing very well before he came out as the freshman.
Marfell goes out, the junior. They did have less ball handling issues when Marks was in the game. There's no doubt about that. And there is Finn Heath for a long 2 off, no good. But we see a lot of basketball through the years and this year, and ball handling seems to be the key every time, doesn't it?
It does at this level. That is
knocked away. It'll stay with the Panthers. Still 10-10 here, second quarter action. 6:38 to go. I do tell you the live chat's kind of cool. We leave that in as you go back and watch. You can watch the kids as they go back and watch, can see who was saying hi to them or saying they were watching, when they were watching, and when they wanted to say hi. So if you're watching and you haven't hopped in that live chat yet, hop in there. Hopefully we'll see you. Dante Drake, we saw him watching the other game. Hopefully get him on, as now we've got a foul away from the basketball or on the rebound, and it might be on Niekamp. It is. It's going to be his second, team's first.
Yep, he had his arms in the back of the Peoria Heights player there. I think it was Marfell trying to get the rebound, but got the good box out.
You can't do that?
No, and he got caught.
You can do it.
You can do it. You're
as long as you don't get caught. Marks taking over the ball handling duties as Jake expected. He'll bring it up the floor with Pabin on him. Williams trying to get it into Marfell. It's tipped away from 121.
Central's one of those great defensive teams that we talk about. They have that ability to get their hands into passing lanes and into windows that other teams just can't, and still be able to not foul.
Right, and there's Williams. They're going to call an offensive foul on Marfell.
Yes. He's got his hands up. I don't know what I did. Well, you weren't quite set there when you made contact on that screen. And
it's the first foul of the game on Peoria Heights, team's first of the quarter.
That's actually pretty big if you look at the, I said during the break, did I really forget to write down the fouls on Peoria Heights? Well, they didn't have any.
No. It was pretty rough the first 30 seconds, I felt like. Both teams kind of on top of each other, but it did mellow out a little, I felt like. And it's kind of settled into a pretty good basketball game. Just neither team right now, Jake's really able to get anything going offensively.
And that says everything about both defenses right now. They're both doing well.
Nick Moore puts the shot up, off no good, but I think he's going to get a couple fouls. We'll wait.
I think he might have traveled first.
What are they calling? You might be right. They're going to talk. Little communication. And they're going to call the foul, I do believe. Was that on Marfell as well?
I couldn't tell.
Nope, it's on 10. That's Marks picking up the foul, his first, team second. I'll say hi to Patrick. Ginenbacher for three. That one's off, no good. There's Pavin with the rebound, and he's going to be fouled. No, it's not Pavin. It's Cole Peterson back in the ball game, and he gets fouled, and that's going to be on Ahart, I do believe. It is on Ahart, his first, team's third. At the free throw line, shooting free throws for the first time for the Panthers here is Cole Peterson.
And he's the only guy right now really in foul trouble off the bench. As many fouls as they have. I guess Niekamp has 2, but we'll see what he can do here.
First one's off, no good. I want to say hi to Patrick, watching from Ravenswood neighborhood in Chicago, Illinois. Go Heights. My favorite restaurant in Peoria Heights is TNT's. Never ate there. Have you ate there?
I don't think I have.
Put that on the wrong team. Second one was good. It's 11-10 Panthers. Patrick, what kind of food is TNT's? Sounds like barbecue. Or something hot, maybe. Still on the right side. That was Finn Heath with it.
Again, Ahart's doing everything he can underneath to try to get open, and Cole Peterson is right up in his grill.
And Moore is right in Williams' grill, too. He is causing all kinds of trouble. And Blewett gets the block, and the follow-through is going to get the foul. It's Marfell. We'll see if they might have called that after the shot. I don't think so, but.
He was on the way down, but I think he's still in the act of shooting.
Blewett gets his first, team's second of the quarter.
And so many times you see players have that big, heavy hand come down across at the end, and most of the time that's what gets you in trouble.
First one is good. We're tied at 11, and a chance for Peoria Heights, Jake, to take their first lead here from the free throw line.
Yeah, the way this thing started with the big 5-0 run for the Panthers, I'm not sure that they thought they'd be with this opportunity, and they convert on it.
You know, we've seen Peoria Heights teams play a lot through the years. The thing that I see different is the calmness that they seem to be playing with. They don't play outside themselves like maybe they have in years past.
Right, and that's always what used to get them in trouble.
There's a three by Moore off, no good. Rebound by Peterson. He has been active off the bench. Yeah, he got a couple fouls, but that's a nice tip and a save, but right to Blewett. Blewett gets called for a travel. Oh, they're going to call a foul. No, one official calls a foul, one official calls a travel, and they're going to call the travel.
That's the same type of deal. They both happen almost simultaneously, and it's whoever thought they had it first.
I would agree with that. I think there was a foul, but he was traveling before the foul, I think.
Yes, he shuffled his feet right underneath the foul.
So Marks will have it as Pabin going to pick him up full court. A little man press here. It's not real tight pressure, but just enough to make him work a little bit to bring the ball to the floor. There's a three on the way. It's good. And Cameron Williams finally on the scoreboard. And it's 15-11, Patriots.
Nice screen by Marfell there. That allowed Williams to finally get open and bury it.
Peterson with it from Ginenbacher. Up top to Moore. Moore is going to get called for the charge. Yes, he is. Third team foul on the Panthers.
So now Nick Moore has 2, Cole Peterson has 2, and Caden Niekamp has 2, and James Barnett wants
timeout on the floor. Charge to the Panthers, and they're still trying to decide if it's going to be a 30 or a full. It's going to be a 30, so we'll keep it here. Drock 12 says fantastic live stream so far. Watching from Denver, Colorado, and Danny O'Brien tuning in from Arizona. We got him from all four corners almost right now, Jake. But
all we need is a Utah. We need
a Utah. We need like a Maine or a New Hampshire or something like that maybe to get to all four corners truly. But it's awesome to see the live chat lighten up. And 3:54 to go. And really this second quarter, Jake, has been all Peoria Heights.
It has, and they've done a really good job. You know, we talked a minute ago about the difference between the Peoria Heights teams of the past that we've seen. You know, give the credit to Coach Jimmy Jordan, and he's done a great job of getting these guys prepared. And once you weather that first storm in the first quarter, now you can make some really good things happen.
Well, there's two sides to that, right? I mean, you weather it, but the other team kind of maybe slacks off a little bit. Well, we've jumped out to a big lead. We're just going to blow them out. And then all of a sudden here they come back, and the ball starts rolling the other direction. Sometimes that's hard to stop.
Yeah.
Williams is saying, I didn't touch it. Ginenbacher did. The official says, I don't believe that.
I have the same call as the official did.
15-11.
Good acting job, though. It was worth a shot.
Hey, it's never hurts to try, does it? Maybe one of the other officials come in and overrule him. Probably not, but
didn't happen in this case.
No, doesn't generally happen, but you got to try it, right? 15-11. I want to thank Bree for running the camera tonight. Ginenbacher over in the corner, 3 on the way by Moore. He got knocked down, and a 3 free throw situation coming. Brockhouse for Delavan the other night against Southeastern had 2 4-point plays in the same game.
Well, Nick Moore is going to have an opportunity to convert 3 free throws here. Finn Heath wasn't happy about it, but he was just a little bit overzealous on that box out.
Newport, Rhode Island, Mike Russo. Thank you. As the first one's good for Moore. Says, go Jimmy Jordan. 3:23 left, 15-12, 15-13.
Did you ever think you'd be doing a game out here in Illinois and have a guy having lobster bisque while he's watching it?
No. That kind of makes me sick just to think about. I'm allergic to shrimp and seafood, and you know that all too well, don't you?
I know that way too well from one night there, yeah.
Moore hits all 3 of them, and it's a 1-point game, 15-14. And when you have kind of momentum going your way, one of the quickest ways to turn that around is to hit some free throws, right? And that's kind of what happened right there.
Well, and you expect your bingo card to look a certain way at the end of the game, and there was only 2 points for Nick Moore. Now all of a sudden he has 5, and he's the second leading scorer, and the scoreboard looks a little bit better for the Panthers.
Colin Dana says that he thought that Moore flopped right there. Marfell, turnaround no good. Williams with the rebound and the putback. Landon Whitfield, this isn't what I was laughing about, says we love you, Finn Heath, but Mike Russo points out, he said there's no lobster right now. It's current COVID currently. You know that pretty well too, don't you?
Absolutely. We'll see Landon Whitfield tomorrow night. He's one of the players for Illini Bluffs.
2:22 left at 17-14. Drock 12, what are your thoughts on the new state final structure, having all 4 classes in one weekend? 3 good for Cameron Williams.
He's the guy we said the offense was going to go through. He's got a game-high 8 points right now with 2 minutes left in the first half.
Yeah, it does make it a little funky for 1A and 2A. There's no doubt about that. But I guess we'll see. The thing that threw me off the most about that, we could talk about this maybe at halftime a little bit, Jake, but was the way that it's not Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday anymore. It's Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. And
right.
State is Thursday, Saturday now, which kind of screwed me up a little bit. So that's something we can talk about at halftime for sure. Ginenbacher, as they running a 3-man weave at the top, taking a little time off the clock, and Paben's going to try and drive now. Peterson to Moore. Free throw line jumper, good, and Moore is finding his rhythm now, and it's 20-16.
Moore has 7 points.
And a shot off, no good. That's Williams with a rebound. Man, there's a lot of body in that reverse layup attempt. Now Blewett tips that away, gives it to Paben. Paben back the other way. He's fouled, counted, and a foul for Drew Paben. Chance to cut the lead back to 1. Foul is on number 10, DeAndre Marks, his second, team's 5th.
And Marks will come to the bench here to protect him with 2 fouls with 1 minute and 1 second left in the half. What a play coast to coast by Drew Paben after the tip.
Ethan Sikorsky?
Ethan Sikorsky, he is one of the Monmouth assistants.
Well, there you go. Because Coach Jordan is a Coach Grant assistant. Jimmy's a great dude. Happy to see him having success at Heights. And King Q says, let's go Cameron Williams, watching from Chillicothe, Illinois. Jake's a sprint car fan. When you say Chillicothe, he thinks Danny Smith.
Ohio, yep.
Cole
That's
Peterson
3.
picks up his 3rd, and man, that's a touchy foul right there. It's his 3rd, team's 4th.
I mean, it was, but we've seen a lot.
Oh,
Nice play.
Inbound, and another 2 points for Williams. Mike Russo just said, Ethan, it's Drew. I'm on my girlfriend's dad's account. Oh, great.
The Panthers have the possession arrow. They need a bucket right here.
Down by 4 as they work for the last shot. This is kind of like at the end of halftime for football, right? Whoa, that looked like a lot of steps. Hesitation, going to be well short. Rebound, down low, Peterson, and he's going to be fouled by Cameron Williams with 6.1 seconds remaining.
And you're exactly right what you were talking about. You know, you look at a game and you do your game film and you take away the plays that cancel each other out. Well, in this case, you've got the possession to start the half. If you have a good outcome here with these free throws, all of a sudden you basically earn an extra possession.
Misses the first. He's 1 for 3, I do believe, from the free throw line, trying to go 50% here with 6.1 seconds. He missed the first and made the second one last time, so let's see if he can do the same thing here. If you're a Panthers fan, of course, that's what you'd like. And he cannot. Williams with the rebound.
There it is.
3 on the way is long, and that's going to be the end. The 3 by Brody Jones was just a little long. That's how the half is going to end. 0's on the clock. 10 minutes will come up. As we got a Patriots fan standing in front of the camera, so you won't be able to see the scoreboard for a second as the clock goes. We apologize for that, but Colin Dana says call the walk. You know, that's a possibility there. Actually, Mike, CPC has lost some games, so they've been in this situation where they've been down, they've come back. They were only up by 1 to Rushville Industry in the regional semifinals, so they've been in this situation. This is not something I don't think Jake, you know, they played in a really tough Macomb Western Holiday tournament. I mean, this isn't a situation that they can't handle, but they've got to figure out a way to slow Peoria Heights down. After that first quarter that was 10-10, it seemed like, even though they only scored 2 more points in Peoria Heights than they did the first quarter, it seemed like they had things rolling much better.
Well, and even so, the scoreboard being a 4-point deficit here for the Panthers, the onus is really going to be on Peoria Heights here, because this is exactly the type of ball that Central plays. They'll wear you down and beat you up, and this is exactly what they want to see, because it's going to be one of those 44-40 games.
Hopping under the headset for a third headset here, Reed Kelso, the AD for Abingdon-Avon, and you pride yourself on having some sectionals and postseason sports of volleyball, basketball. Doesn't really matter. You'll take what you can get, I think. But this has turned into a pretty good basketball game.
Yes, really good game. You know, I'm a little surprised. I figured this would be a close game. You know what I mean? Peoria Heights is really big, really athletic. I haven't seen them all year. I've seen Camp Point a couple times at the holiday tournament. But, yeah, they look – it's a really good game. It should be an exciting second half. I agree. I think first person to 40 might win this game.
You're exactly right. Well, we'll see if they let them play a little more in the second half. They did call some fouls there in the second quarter, Jake, but they didn't call many in the first quarter. They kind of tightened it up maybe a little in the second quarter. We'll see what happens. Toby Cooper is in the chat tonight.
We'll see him tomorrow.
We will be here, Toby, for the Illini Bluffs game tomorrow night, and then D Thorne 62 is cheering on grandnephew Cameron Williams. Love Aunt Sissy Fee, and can't see Lori maybe. It's behind the heart, and I can't see it until it scrolls up. But at any rate, the live chat's been active. We appreciate all you guys being in there. A lot goes into this that I think people don't really see or know. I'm a fat guy. I got to give you props on the hospitality room tonight. It's legit.
Thank you. Yeah, we do a good job. You know, we run 2 shootouts, so we have a pretty good idea what we're doing for major basketball events nowadays. I think this is our 3rd or 4th year in a row hosting a boys or girls sectional basketball game. So we've kind of got a system, and, you know, with our gym, I think we got one of the nicer gyms around. You know, everything's pretty new, video board. We got everything you could want for a sectional, so we enjoy hosting. You
know what we need to do? We need to figure out how to get the feed from our camera on your video board.
We'll probably do that.
We should do that.
I can't do that. Somebody can.
We should work on that.
We should.
Maybe for the championship game.
Maybe.
What do you think?
Yeah, I'm all for it.
We got Thursday.
That's true. We do have Thursday.
Maybe we can try that. Do you like that? Jake and I, we're going to talk about it. Somebody asked us whether we like the format changes and how they've went. What's your take on Monday, Tuesday, or Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday now to Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday?
I like it. You got to go with the girls. It's kind of predicated on like the girls' state, super sectional. Like there's a plan, so like you don't have your fan bases. Like O'Fallon last year, I went up and watched the sectional versus them Moline, where the girls were playing that day at state. So you know what I mean. The crowd wasn't very good. So I like it. I think you need just one game each night. I think that works. Yes, it's probably an advantage. These guys can rest their legs for an extra 24 hours, which is probably a big deal this late in the season. But I like it. You know, you bring two crowds in on Tuesday and Wednesday, then Friday we're going to toss it over for the championship.
Well, I want us to go back and say Aunt Sissy, Fee, and Lola.
Yeah, now that that's popped up.
Now that that's popped up far enough, keep fighting. Go Heights, says Coach Smith. Somebody asked us about NFHS and how we get around it. There's a lot of schools who don't have NFHS, so we are predominantly at schools that don't have NFHS. Reed Kelso is from Macomb originally.
Yes.
And I'm from Bushnell. Jake is from Bushnell. When we started doing this, I think the second year is when we started coming up here. Maybe the end of the first year even. Actually, it was into the first year or second year?
I think it was second year.
Second year we came up and started doing Abingdon-Avon games, and we've been here since then, and it's
I don't
been
use
a great deal.
I don't use an FHS. I don't know the last time they've even updated my camera. It's probably before I was the AD.
Yeah. So
like I just like providing the YouTube, the live stream. It's free. Like some of those cameras are really bad.
Yeah, we hope that we do a pretty decent job for you folks at home. Hopefully you enjoy it. And, you get to listen to Jake tonight, so that's a bonus. You have to listen to me. But you guys have got to have Wyatt on most of the year this year.
Yes.
One of our new guys that came on and helped us this year. I think he's been pretty good for you.
Yeah, we really enjoyed him. You know, he really got into the swing of things here, and he did the sectional girls game, and we enjoyed. You know, I know our crowd likes having a play-by-play. Somebody knows the kids, can say the names. You know what I mean? It's better than just hearing the crowd noise. So, yeah, we appreciate everything you guys have done.
Notre Dame fell 31-28 to Taylor.
Rock Ridge.
To Rock Ridge. And it was 21-17 at the end of three quarters.
That's an upset.
Notre Dame was leading.
Notre Dame was winning.
I know it's hard to imagine somebody that's been at state 2 years in a row like Rock Ridge being like them upset, but that pure Notre Dame, I figured played manual.
Well, we'll see. Rock Ridge has got a chance to play the winner of Macomb and Peoria Manual tomorrow nights. Some good teams here. Jake and I were talking about the maybe surprise team of these four is probably Peoria Heights.
No doubt, no doubt. I think if you would ask me a couple months ago or so, I probably would have thought Princeville, maybe even A-Town would have been here. But Peoria Heights, they're long, they're athletic. I mean, they're hitting shots. They're winning the game right now. They're doing everything you want them to do. So I don't think it's a surprise anymore. I don't think Camp Point's a surprise anymore.
No, I can't. And Jake and I talked about this, and Jake, we said it briefly, but Camp Point kind of ran out in this game, 5-0. Looked like they really were going to control this game. Peoria Heights just isn't the same kind of team that they've been in years past. The coach has obviously got them settled down and playing some good basketball.
In the past, that Peoria Heights team would have probably said, we got here. It's cool to be here, and then maybe let Camp Point run away a little bit. But that's not what they did at all. They hit him right back in the mouth.
And you got to give Camp Point credit as well that they've now responded to that turnaround and kind of got back into it a little bit. They'll have the ball first to start the second half, and we'll see what that kind of jolt comes. But they had the ball last and couldn't make anything happen.
Well, and we talk about this a lot off air. Really, the key to this game is probably going to be the first 4 minutes coming out of halftime, because you're going to make or break what you've got going on during that first 4 minutes. You're either going to be able to recover or you're not.
I want to thank Danny O'Brien for giving us that score. It was on our TSSR YouTube channel, but we were kind of busy calling this one, so we didn't get to watch the end of it. Megan Zalo, I hope I said that close to right, says, "Go Cameron Williams. We love you." From way up in Waukee, Iowa. Love your crazy aunts, Nain and Addie Boo. We got a lot of
nicknames.
A lot of nicknames in the Brandon Hindle. I want to thank him for coming on board. We'll have tomorrow night some advertising from Nutrient Ag Solutions. I want to thank Brandon Hindle. He came on board for the Macomb Western Holiday Tournament, so we'll bring some of that along with us.
You got 3 teams next year in the Holiday Tournament that are here. Peoria Christian's in next year, too.
That's right. So, and I think
Mercer County.
Illini Bluffs actually is not going to be in next year, I think.
No, they're not.
Correct.
So, Sports Nerd says, "I love you, Mr. Kelso."
Good luck. I don't know, even my wife loves me most of the time.
Well, somebody has to love you.
She's not thrilled that I'm hosting sectionals, I can tell you that much.
Well, when are they ever?
No. She's a football. She likes football. I coach football. She likes that. Basketball's too many games for her.
It's a long season. I'm not going to lie. I'm ready for it to be over myself. But this is the best time of the – it's weird. You're ready for it to be over, but it's the best time of the year,
I
too.
agree. You know what? Friday night when I pull out of here, I'll be all right with it over.
Yeah.
I'll be all right with it being over.
Yeah, but you're still going to watch the NCAA tournament where 96 games, whatever.
I don't have cable at home, so I don't watch any sports at home. I read books. I watch enough sports at school.
You can read? You went to Macomb.
It's amazing. Yes, my mom was an English teacher, so yes, I can read.
Oh, yeah, okay. Good point.
So
Point
you
well
had to
taken.
read.
Yes, Mrs. Kelsey taught a lot of seventh graders at Macomb High. So yeah, I don't watch a lot of sports anymore. Too many kids. I got 4 kids, man. Too many kids.
You know how to prevent that, right?
Right.
Okay.
I'd have more.
Don't tell your wife. We won't tell her.
She knows. She knows. I'd have more, but.
Hey, thanks for coming to talk to us.
Appreciate it, guys. I'll talk to you guys
tomorrow
tomorrow night.
Okay, sounds good. Reed Kelso talking to us. Want to say hi to Jennifer Marfell. Says, go get 'em Heights. Maureen Lawless says, go Heights. Maureen and baby AJ cheering on the team from Peoria.
All of those Cameron Williams people in the chat, he had 10 points in that first half, and they all came in the second quarter. We talked about the offense maneuvering through him, and they did a really good job, did the Panthers, shutting him down, but he was able to squeak out those 10 in the second.
Richard Plant says Cam Ahart is a machine. Grandpapa and Grandmama loves you. So Richard Plant, Cam Ahart's grandpa. And before we get started with the third quarter here, Jake, Drock 12 wants to know if you have any early leans on the 1A champion.
Ooh. I'd have to look at the rest of the brackets.
Yeah, it's I don't know what the rest of the brackets look like for sure, but Illini Bluffs has to be one at the top of that list. There's a great inbounds play to start things off as Blewett gets the bucket, and it's a 2-point game.
You've got 2 30-win teams in 1A. One of them's Illini Bluffs, the other's Winchester West Central. You have to think putting your chips on one of those two would probably be the way to put it.
Yes, I would agree that is 100% accurate. Of course, Peoria Heights or Peoria Christian or Camp Point Central is going to have something to tell you about. Cameron Williams gets a bucket. He looks to be limping a little bit there, Jake, as he came back down the floor.
I was looking down at my paper. I didn't catch that. I'll keep an eye on it.
See if it looked like he was limping just a little bit. Not a lot, but.
Doesn't take much.
Boy, they are switching everything here. Did you notice that? They are literally switching. Either that or they tried to switch into different. They are switching everything. Is this a zone? Or is it a matchup zone of some sort?
Switching man almost.
Well, there's a lot of communication needed to play this defense that Peoria Heights playing right now as they are switching everything. Moore's going to drive on Ahart. Pabin with it. Down to Moore, and it's ticked away but gathered back up. 3 on the way by Pabin is long. No good. Tipped around, and Marks is going to come down with it. Marks, one of the players with 2 fouls, and Jake, is now Ahart's going to go dump it out. Man, he could have put that up, didn't do it, throws it away, and Moore comes up with it. He's going to push it to the length of the floor, and then knocked away. Finn Heath nearly had it. Patrick Kelly tuning in from Creve Coeur. Go Heights, class of 04. Alex Abraham joining us as well. Williams is the man. He got the torch from his cousin James. Blew it a nice spin move and can't get it to fall. Big rebound by Ahart. That's the kind of shot you can't miss in a close game.
Absolutely.
But on the floor it goes. Finally picked up by Ginnebacher. We slow down here in another half-court set. Blew it with it. Reverse layup. That time he didn't miss. And it's back to a 2-point game, 24-22. Look at some of the stats. We didn't go over stats as leading scorers or whatever here while folks can watch at home, and we'll talk a little bit.
Well, it's changing now. Cameron Williams is up to 12. Finn Heath has 4. Ahart has 6, and Marfell has 2. He was 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Finn Heath 2 for 2, so that means that the Patriots are perfect from the stripe.
We'll talk about Camp Point next time they set up their half-court offense. There's Finn Heath for 2. He gets his first field goal. Is that right?
It is.
Back to a 4-point second field goal. 2 for 2, so he's got 6 points. Blew it to Paben. Moore. Oh, there's a. They call the block.
I think he leaned in just a little bit too late. He wasn't all the way set.
Yeah, he was leaning right. And they're going to talk a little bit about it. The basket is good. The foul is on number 12, Cameron Ahart, his second, team's first.
That's Blewett's 6 point of the quarter, 8 total. And he converts the 3-point play.
That's back to a 1-point game, 26-25. The only thing I can figure out on that charge, I thought it was going to be called a charge as well. Heath turned around, one-handed shot off, no good. Niekamp with the rebound. Is what Jake said. He leaned a little to the right, I think, to get more in front. And
it just wasn't quite all the way straight up.
Yep, if you
which
lean,
matters at this level.
Right, if you lean or leaning either into or backwards even, you're going to get called for that. And there's Moore driving the baseline, and the Panthers retake the lead, 27-26. And the clock may be blocked here for a little bit.
Paben with a steal. He's going to go to the other end. Nice pass underneath to Blewett. Blewett with a shot up, and it falls. 11 points now for Gavin Blewett. It's 29-26. Central timeout. Jimmy Jordan. And Dwayne has the camera back because he, I don't know what he said to the gentleman in the front row. I'm sure it was pleasant.
It was. I just said, you mind stepping down off the seat so we can. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He was super nice, a Peoria Heights Patriots fan, so we appreciate that. 4:01 to go. Full timeout, or a 30-second timeout. They're all standing. Is it 30-second?
I was laughing at you and didn't pay attention. It's got to be 30.
Both teams have got 4 timeouts remaining.
Gavin Blewett has come alive for the Panthers here in the third quarter. He started the quarter off with 2. He now has 11, including the last 5 at least for the Panthers.
Joe Wood is here in the live chat. He says these refs have lost their phone because they're missing a lot of calls. We had a guy from Peoria, Notre Dame, girls last week at a sectional say that I think the referees gave up carrots for Lent. There's a layup off, no good, and a rebound.
Now that had to be something that Jimmy Jordan talked about during the timeout. Those little shots have to fall for Peoria Heights to stay in it.
They're going to call a travel. That is a good call. Paben was trying to force the issue and took a couple extra steps and gets the travel call.
Sometimes those little guys get their feet moving a little bit faster than they realize.
29-26 the score. The Panthers back on top. They've scored 11-4 here in quarter number 3.
And what did we say at halftime? The first 4 minutes of the quarter, we've got 3:12 left, and it was all Panthers in that 4 minutes.
But that's the same as quarter number 1, right?
That's right. They all matter.
Marfell, what a take, and he gets the layup. Boss man saying the Panthers defense is tough, and he's right, but Marfell found him cut like a hot knife through butter right there. Got a great layup.
Definitely a nice move.
Blewett pull-up jumper, short rebound to Heath. And a chance to retake the lead.
That'll be another good key here for the Patriots down the stretch as they limited the Panthers to 1 attempt that time down on the offensive part of the floor.
Been 3 lead changes so far in this game. Marfell going to drive on Ginenbacher. Pull-up jumper this time off, no good. Blewett with the rebound. Both teams really controlling the defensive glass pretty well. Moore with a baseline jumper's good.
11 now for Nick Moore. He ties the Panther team high. Cameron Williams still with the game high at 12.
You know what's kind of maybe not surprising but a little interesting here is Cameron Williams is going to get called for, nope, I thought he was going to call him for a travel. I didn't see a travel, but I thought that's what they're going to call. They're going to call a foul on the Panthers. It's going to be on Nick Moore. It'll be his second, I do believe.
Third
on Nick Moore. team's first of the quarter. So much like quarter number one, not a whole lot of fouls called here in the third quarter. 2:01 to go. Both teams have just one team foul. Cameron Williams.
Ooh.
Shuffled the feet, no call, puts the layup up and in as he had the size advantage over Paben and took full advantage of it.
Paben's got the speed, though. They're right back here at the other end.
They have shut Ginenbacher down. Left elbow jumper, good for Nick Moore.
Pick your poison, though. You can limit Ginenbacher all day, but Blewett has 11, and now Nick Moore has 13.
Blewett
can't stop them all.
Blewett has been much more active here in the third quarter, I feel like. Don't you agree or no?
I agree.
I mean, not just offensively, but defensively as well. He's been on the defensive glass quite a bit. There's Cameron Williams. He goes, puts the shot up. Off, no good, but Marfell is there for the rebound and the putback. Blewett drives in, had it knocked away, gathered it back up. Gives it off to Moore. Moore cuts through the lane and gets the layup to fall.
All of a sudden, Moore has 15.
And all of a sudden, the offenses have come to life. Both teams finding some success driving to the basketball, driving to the hoop. And there's Cameron Williams. Can't get it to fall, but he's going to draw a foul on Ginenbacher, and he'll have 2 free throws. And the Heights Patriots with a chance to stay perfect from the free throw line.
Marfell's got blood
on his tights. He's going to have to run to the locker room, take his tights off. The foul is on Ginenbacher, his second, team's second. 4 for 4 in the first half were the Heights Patriots, and they are shooting free throws for the first time here in quarter number 3, correct?
Yes.
46.9 seconds to go. There have not been a lot of free throws shot in this one. First one is good.
And of all the things, Marfell was just coming alive in this game, and now you've got to run to the locker room, you've got to find the blood shorts, you've got to change out of it, get everything situated, and then come back out here like nothing happened.
And he hits them both to make it 35-34. Under a minute to go, 40 seconds to be exact. Matt Perez in the live chat said a bailout. I don't know if I'd call that a bailout. It looked like a lot of contact to me, but that's the wonderful thing about being a fan, right?
The camera doesn't do it justice.
No, it doesn't necessarily all the time.
That's almost a 5 count on Paben.
Yeah, he just barely broke the 5-foot distance. 10 seconds, Paben with it, 8 seconds now. Down low to Blewett. Blewett spins, throws it up, left-handed, it won't fall. Rebound to Williams from three-quarter court. It's close, soft back iron, no good. And at the end of 3 quarters of play, it's almost as close as you can get, 35-34. The Panthers lead the Patriots. We'll be back for the final 8 minutes on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, right after this.
I chose the MDH OBGYN group because I've heard wonderful things about Dr. Smith. And upon entering the office, I really got along with everybody and got a warm feeling. The staff is warm and inviting and welcoming. It's a small community, so it's a really nice hospital to have here in the rural area. I continue to choose MDH because of the relationships I have. I really enjoy everybody here.
Welcome back to Abingdon-Avon High School, sectional semifinal number 1 for Class 1A IHSA boys basketball here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. I'm Dwayne Hulett, Jake Croxton alongside as we are ready to start quarter number 4, Jake. And Alex Abraham says, what a great ball game, and can't really say anything more than that. It's been a good one.
That's exactly what we were saying to each other during the commercial here. Everybody's putting everything on the line, and it's, what more can you ask for?
Marks with it, as it is. I forgot to change the possession last time. Cameron Williams to the rack. He can't finish. Tried a little right-handed reverse layup kind of shot from the left side. Couldn't get it to fall, and a chance to have retaken the lead there. Slips away for the Patriots. Now Paben with it, and he gives it to Ginenbacher.
Well, and this is big for the Patriots. Marfell has his shorts changed, and he's at the bench ready to check in.
Paben with it. And then the next question I have is, where did the blood come from?
I guess we'll never know.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Somebody else blew it to the rack, and he can't finish, but he draws the foul on Ahart, I believe. It's either him or Finn Heath. It is on Ahart. It'll be his third, is that right?
Third on Ahart, yep.
First of the quarter. Shane Curry says, go Jake Croxton.
What'd they do here? Oh, they're waiting for the second shot.
Yep, Blewett's going to have a couple free throws here. Fouled on the shot. Left the first one well short. Rock 12, can't believe Chicago Marshall's 1A this year. Used to be a 3A powerhouse. A lot of schools have dropped down, and I thought the same thing about Manual. We'll talk maybe about that here in a second, as Blewett missed them both, and those could come back to be huge.
We'll see what happens here. Jimmy Jordan was in the ear of Brian Sullivan over here with his elbows out. He was not pleased with a couple hooks he thought they got away with.
Now a steal, and it's going to end up in Niekam's hand. Moore for three. Heat check. It's a little too cold, but Paben comes away with it finally, and his jumper from just inside the free throw line is good.
First bucket of the game for Drew Paben. Comes at a big time.
But Peoria Manual, I didn't realize for all those years Peoria Manual was 3A that they actually petitioned to go up a class. Did you know that?
I did not.
Cameron Williams is going to draw another foul. He'll have a couple more free throws, and as they said in the live chat, he was silky smooth on the last one. Blewett's going to pick up that foul. It'll be his second, team's first of the fourth quarter. 2 for 2 from the free throw line is Cameron Williams. He hit 2 and 2 in the third quarter, and that one was
just
about stopped on the rim before it fell off. I jinxed him, the announcer's jinx. Second one is good. Cuts it to a 2-point game. 37-35. Panthers with the basketball. 6:34 to go. And every possession now, Jake, becomes progressively more important for both these teams, doesn't it?
Really?
Moore for three. It's hard off back iron, no good. Tipped out by Finn Heath. They wanted it over the back. Cameron Williams has it stripped away by Paben, and it's going to stay with the Panthers. Paben saying it went off Williams' leg. Williams is looking at his arm like, that wasn't any ball.
He carried it out of bounds. I was getting ready to say, you sound like Debbie Downer when you say they've only missed one free throw for Peoria Heights, as Williams with a three here, but that's going to matter at the end.
Yes, it is. It will. One could be the difference, right? Oh, and there's an accidental forearm right to the chops of Paben by Finn Heath. Foul's going to be on him. Is that his third or second?
Second on Heath. And there was no ill intent there. It was the size disadvantage that ended up hurting Drew Paben's nose, probably.
Joe Wood says that was Marfel's own blood. Looks like it must have been. It's got a knee wrap or some tape on it down there, so I'm guessing that Joe Wood is correct. And if you're not going to come out and guard, Paben will stand out there and dribble the basketball for 5 minutes.
Hey, maybe it will be the first one to 40 if they're going to do that. Midway through the third quarter, we figured they'd have 40 blown out of the water on both sides.
Yeah, and they still could. This thing, it's winning spurts. This game has been a big game of spurts, like 10 points here, 10 points there. Blewett's going to drive. A lot of contact. Shots off, no good. Moore puts it back up, off, no good. Marks comes down with the rebound, stolen away by Paben. Out of bounds. It'll stay with the Panthers.
DeAndre Marks was just in the wrong place at the wrong time there. He was swarmed by a couple Panthers that had quick hands.
5:16 remaining. Brian says he's here. I don't know where here is, except in the live chat. Thank you, Danny O'Brien. We're here. I don't know if he's here, but we're here, and we love being with you. Thank you, Danny O'Brien. We appreciate the kind words. We're glad that you're enjoying the broadcast. We'll be here all week. Jake Croxton's going to be here for all three of them as well. Should be a lot of fun. Moore with it still. Paben This right here, Jake, is what makes Camp Point Central so tough, right? Is they're just so controlled.
Dangerous part of their team is they are in control, and you have to come stop them, and they're going to do just as much to you on the other end here.
Pavin tried to make something happen on Marks, and that's a charge.
That's a charge.
Most definitely. Marfell drew it, right? Nope, it was Ahart that drew the charge.
Cameron Ahart took the damage. That's the fourth foul on Nick Moore.
That was a big hit, too.
Yeah, that was a senior quarterback hit.
Yeah, that was definitely, and that's the thing, is these Central players are not afraid of contact.
No.
Not a one of them are afraid to make some contact. And
he was optioning the defensive end there.
Brody Jones back in the game as well. There's Cameron Williams, has it stolen away. Pabin knocked it away. Ginnenbacher came up with it, shots up and in.
That is Ginnenbacher's first bucket since the first quarter. He's got 8 points now.
He hit two threes in the first 8 points to get the scoring started. He's been quiet since then. And now another foul is going to be called, possibly on Pabin. It is on Drew Pabin.
We talked earlier about the little windows that Camp Point could get into. He was in that window there, but Cameron Williams did the right thing and got into Pabin just enough to where he had to draw the foul. The chances you take when you're playing aggressive.
Finn Heath had a wide open shot, and Ekamp was not afraid of him shooting that three at all in that scenario right there. And Heath gave it off to Cameron Williams. Now Williams with it again. He'll shoot the three. It's in and out, no good.
3 Panthers around it to rebound it.
And it's funny you say that. Richard Plant said 3 guys were just standing after a shot, rebound heights, a little bit ago in the live chat. And we talked earlier in the third quarter about how good the rebounding would be for both teams. As a 3 on the way off, no good. Tipped around and tipped right out to Moore. Moore pump fake, drive, nope, pull up 3, off short. Blew it, another rebound, and that one's off, no good. Finally, Cameron Williams comes down with it.
3 offensive rebounds and no conversion that time. Timeout, Jimmy Jordan.
And I was thinking, I was just getting ready to say that maybe a timeout needed, just if nothing else, for a little rest and revitalization for the Patriots. Here is a timeout on the floor. It is a full timeout. We'll take one as well, and we'll be back on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, right after this.
At Western Illinois University, Leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a Leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
Welcome back. As you see, Peoria Heights bench right there is they're taking full advantage of their timeout, but I say that Central's still on their bench as well. I think both teams playing as hard as they can play at this point, Jake.
Well, and that's what this type of basketball you end up with. It's hard physically. It's hard mentally. So as you get going here with 3:01 left, you do need that timeout to settle down. What are you laughing at now?
Jennifer Marfell says, come on, Heights, the rebound. Patrick Kelly says, I'm about sick of this kid with the mullet. He's a pest. He's talking about Blewett. He's absolutely right. I mean that in the best way possible. Blewett is he's kind of like Pabin. He's 100% go all the time, and he's scrappy as scrappy gets.
The mullet kid has 11 points if you're keeping score at home.
Drock 12 says he went to Western Illinois University. I don't remember much except quarter beer night. that might be marking your age a little bit. Cameron Williams puts up the shot. It's short, and I think Marfell is going to pick up the foul.
He tried to go through Ginnenbacher for the rebound there, and he's going to get called. Still a ways away from the bonus. Just 3 team fouls here in the quarter for both teams. 1 to give for each side. Hey, we got another timeout.
Both teams are going to have 3 timeouts remaining. Camp Point Central takes another timeout. We'll take one as well. We'll be back after this on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
Working at MDH feels special to me because I'm also from a small community like MDH, and I love to be able to care for communities like this and be able to give them high standards of excellence with medical care as possible. You know, some people like to take more of a medical approach to their care. Some people like to take more of a holistic. And I just want to be able to make their plan of care as individualized as possible.
And welcome back. As you see Central's bench this time taking full advantage of the timeout. I think both teams, I was going to say this a few minutes ago and I kind of got to it. I think both teams could use these 2-minute breaks here.
Yeah, everybody's getting a little regeneration here. This is long in the tooth with 2:49 left in the game. Just a 4-point spread here.
And we say 2:49 left, but you and I both know there's going to be a whole lot more left than that.
Yeah, it's not going to be 2:49 on your watch, that's for sure.
No, it's not. I was giving Drock 12 a hard time about remembering quarter beer night. I can't say much. I'm old enough to remember nickel beer night.
Oh, boy.
At the old Purple Pride back in the day. So I'm probably much older. 2:45 to go.
Press there.
Yes, they've come out in the full court and blew it. Beats them with a little help from his friends. Trey Perez, there is no shot clock in Illinois basketball. Iowa has it. Illinois does not. 3 on the way, short. Rebound this time by Marfell. He's going to be fouled from behind. I think it was Ginnenbacher behind him. We'll see.
Might have been before the shot. We'll see.
It is on Ginnenbacher.
Third on Ginnenbacher. Was before the shot, so Cameron Williams will have it out of bounds here.
6-point lead. This is the largest lead of the game. It was 8-2, I believe. And Ahart gets the easy bucket on the inbounds play, cuts it back to 4.
Ahart's first bucket since the first quarter. He has 8.
Richard Plant says, good times, nickel beer night. I don't know, I have some bad memories from nickel beer night, I gotta tell you. We shouldn't be talking about this. This is high school basketball. Moore is going to be hammered from behind by Cameron Williams. He took to heart the saying, if you're going to foul him, don't let him score.
That's 2 possessions in a row now that Jimmy Jordan has had a full court trap on Camp Point. You beat a press with a pass. So far, they've been able to do that.
Hey, everybody take it easy on Trey Perez. I can't remember where Trey said he was from, but Iowa does have a shot clock. And whether you like the shot clock or not, it's coming to Illinois basketball at some point. We used it at the Macomb Western Holiday Tournament, and it actually was a lot of fun as Moore hits the first free throw.
I think over 24 games, there were maybe 6 times that it made a difference, and 3 of them were one team.
Yeah.
In the same game.
Second one good as well. Holding the ball ideally seems like the simple thing to do, right? But it's not always as easily said as done as said. Cameron Williams has it swiped away by Drew Pabin. I think they've got fouls to give, and I think no, they don't. I think there's a timeout charged as they're really getting up in the grill with 1:53 to go in a 6-point game. I kind of feel like free throws down the stretch for Camp Point Central are going to start right now. It's
getting to that point where that aggressiveness is going to turn into needing to put somebody on the free throw line. They had their last foul to evaporate just a minute ago. You don't want to foul Nick Moore. He's 5 of 5 right now. Blewett is 1 for 3. Peterson's not in the game right now, but he's 1 for 3. So you have some opportunity there depending on who you foul. Just don't foul Nick Moore.
So we're going to see what happens here. Final 1:53. The full court press is still in full effect here, it would appear.
There again, in a game when you're worried about everybody's energy level, that's going to ramp that up just that much more.
They get it
almost worked.
Barely across half court. And Marfell.
Pabin was falling forward, but Marfell
gets called for the foul.
Basically holding him up.
Pabin at the free throw line to shoot 2. I got to go back and read this. Back in 06, I watched Matt Perez says, I watched Sean Livingston hold his way to a state title. Well, Sean Livingston's a different kind of player than, no offense to anybody on the floor right now, maybe even Cameron Williams. Sean Livingston is a little different player, I think.
Big free throw coming up right here. This would make it a 3-possession ball game.
He did miss the first. Rattled it around and missed it.
So if you're Peoria Heights, you need a bucket here.
On the floor.
Yep.
Are they calling a timeout? 30-second timeout.
Oh, really?
For Peoria Heights.
That's one that Mr. Jordan wishes he had back in his pocket, I think, because Niekamp would have had the foul.
Drock 12, yes. 5 fouls is the double bonus. That is a new thing this year. It's not new now, I guess we're at the end of the year, but every quarter you get 5 fouls. After 5 fouls per quarter, you shoot 2 free throws.
Think NBA, yep.
Yep. So it is different.
Not my favorite, but nobody asked me, but it's what we played with all year.
Yep, and so ironically, this game is one of the few games that I've seen that they didn't end up needing to foul 3 times in the final 2 minutes to get to that point. So they used the fouls, and that's this year, Drock 12, just this year. They've played that way all this year. It's an NFHS, National Federation of High School Coaches rule, and they added it.
Basically, their thought process was they were trying to eliminate those plays where you were getting ready to go after it on a 1 and bonus that maybe caused more head injuries. Whether you believe that or not, that's their reasoning.
Yeah, there's no 1 and 1s. The only time you shoot 1 free throw anymore is Williams for 3. He hit it!
Big shot for Peoria Heights. That's 20 for Williams. Still in the full court press. Oh! Boy, if that goes the other way, that was Moore's 5th, but Ahart was leaning just like we said earlier.
Ahart gets called for the block, and Ahart looked at the referee and said, well, can you at least help me up? And the referee did. So the foul's on Ahart for Peoria Heights. That's his 4th. They've got him.
117. These are big for Nick Moore.
Moore hit 2 of 2 his last trip to the free throw line. He missed the front end of this one.
Claps his hands in frustration.
Moore's second one. Rattled that one out. They're 0 for 4 in their last 2 trips, and a chance to tie or cut it to 1 for Peoria Heights with 1:10 remaining here in the 4th quarter. Williams again with it. He's got Pabin on him. He lost the ball, gathered it back up. Shoots a 3. Off no good, but 3 free throws coming.
Pabin was trying to get around that screen, and he just reached out and grabbed Williams, and that's going to put him on the line.
5 fouls now for the Panthers as well, as both teams are officially in the double bonus. And the first free throw is good. Can he tie it from the free throw line?
1:01 on the clock.
Oh, it rattled in. It was 2/3 the way in and rattled back out. 43-41. Chance to cut it to 1. He does.
22 for Williams. Watch for the full court press here.
And a foul. Drew Pabin probably is not going to miss 2 more in a row. He missed his last 2. We'll see what happens here. His
Peoria
team
Heights
up by
hopes you're
1.
wrong.
Yeah, Peoria Heights does, but we'll see what happens. 43-42. The race to first one to 40. Who got the 41st? The Panthers did, right?
I believe that's true.
I guess it doesn't matter where it ends up if the first 1 to 40 might win still, right? That one rattled around, and a little shooter's touch gets it to fall. A 2-point game. With 59.4 seconds left to make it a full 1-possession game. That one falls as well. Timeout on the floor.
That makes Pabin 2 of 4 from the line. 4 points total, all coming here in the 4th quarter.
Timeout charge to Camp Point Central. They'll have 1 timeout remaining, according to the scoreboard.
That's what I have. One full left for the Panthers.
And 2 for the Patriots.
Patriots will both have both of their remaining timeouts are full as well.
Well, we could take a break here, but I think we'll keep it here. Is the pressure from Peoria Heights, I feel like, has kind of changed this kind of feel and momentum of this game.
The last 3 trips down the floor offensively, either Ahart or Marfell have set the screen out here for Williams. They've been trying to get him open all night. When he gets open, he scores. And last time they drew the foul, but I would expect that to happen again this time down the floor.
59.4 seconds left.
You're down 3. You certainly wouldn't expect the dishes underneath.
Well, there's tons of time left. So, I mean, there's two lines of thought here, right? You can get the quick bucket, whatever it is, and then foul again if you need to. And maybe you don't have to have the 3 the next time, right? So there's 2 schools of thought. We'll see which one Coach Jordan sends his team towards here. And Cameron Williams has it in his hand, and I would imagine that's who you want to have the basketball, right?
He gave it up. It's coming right back to him in the screen from Ahart.
He's
Paven picked him up, though.
That's partially blocked. Rebound by Marfell. 40 seconds left. That's going to be off. Oh, it's going to go into the hand of Marks. Williams going to push it. And he steps on the baseline.
Wow.
Here's the problem that I see in that possession with 32.8 seconds left is they were too dependent on Williams taking a shot.
They had the play they wanted, though.
Going to try and get the 10-second violation or the turnover, and a foul's going to be called on Marks. 27.5, and now some huge free throws for Drew Paben and the Camp Point Central Panthers. 45-42 with 27.5 seconds remaining.
They waited there to make sure they fouled Paben. We'll see if it pays off.
First one is good. He's hit 3 in a row after missing his first 2.
Got his own rebound.
Paven gets the rebound. And he could have almost been, I don't know if he was being fouled before he started running, but he could have almost been called for a travel. Huge mistake for Peoria Heights. Heath picks up the foul, and Paven gets 2 more free throws. He continues to be 3 for 6 now. He's 50% from the free throw line, but 2 more big ones coming here for the senior from Central. First one is in and out, no good. Second one is no good. Rebound this time goes to Ahart.
Gotta go.
Heath for 3. It's off, no good. Rebound to Marfell. He gets it up and in.
Timeout, Peoria Heights.
And they said the clock didn't stop. The Patriots fans are saying the clock did not stop quick enough. It's a timeout. It's a full timeout. 1 timeout apiece, which could end up being a big deal here, Jake.
That was Marfell's first bucket of the quarter. He has 8 total. He was in the right place at the right time. They're probably one of the 3 there to get a little closer, but now you're probably going to have to put Central back on the line and hope they miss. And since we're talking about it, this would have been the 10th foul of the half, so you'd have been in double bonus here anyway, so the rule change doesn't affect this particular play.
So we're going to see they did give him 1.4 seconds back to 12.0 remaining. Those 1.4 don't sound like a lot, Jake, but they could be huge.
That's an eternity right now. The referees get a bad rap sometimes, but you got a really good crew tonight. Brian Sullivan, John Carroll, and Todd Olinger. I've seen these guys several times this year. Generally, they might call it a little loose, but they probably get it right most of the time.
Trying to get it inbounded. Moore with it. That's probably not who you want to foul. Williams pretty close to getting a steal there, but Moore's going to go to the free throw line with 9.9 seconds left. Now, if he can hit both of these, it's getting a lot more difficult for Heights.
Well, Moore missed the last two that he shot, though.
Both teams have one timeout. Moore's first of two is good.
18 for Nick Moore.
This is the big one right here. This is huge right here. Hits them both.
Williams with a prayer.
Off, no good. Rebound tapped around. Ginenbacher comes down with it. And the Panthers are going to survive. 48-44. And they will face the winner of Peoria Christian and Illini Bluffs. That game tomorrow night, you'll be able to watch it right here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
Give all the credit in the world to these Peoria Heights Patriot guys. You know, they're not in this position very often, and they answered the bell tonight.
They played very well and had chances to win down the stretch. You've got to give them tons of credit for that. That's right, D. Thorne 62. Good game, Heights. Way to keep fighting. As it's 48-40, we'll take a break. Let Jake do some stat thinking, and we'll be back after this on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
It was the community that really drew me back to Macomb. I'm from a small community, and I'm from a farm family, and ultimately I always wanted to practice in a place like that, and I felt that I had the ability to connect to people who with a similar background from me, and the fact that the staff members at the hospital and the support, all the support staff at the hospital was also focused with the goal of patient care. It felt like it just all came hammered at home for me.
At Western Illinois University, Leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there is limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a Leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
Welcome back to Abingdon-Avon High School, 48-44, the final. The Panthers survive and advance here in sectional play. They'll play the winner of Peoria Christian and Illini Bluffs. That game tomorrow night, 7 o'clock here at Abingdon-Avon High School. You'll be able to watch it live and for free right here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Jake Croxton, you got some stats over there?
For the Peoria Heights Patriots, Cameron Williams, the senior in his final game, has the game high with 22 points. Barrett Marfell and Cameron Ahart had 8 apiece, and Finn Heath had 6. Heath was 2 of 2 from the line. Williams 5 of 7. Team total was 7 of 9 from the free throw line. Nick Moore leads the Central Panthers. He had 19 points. He was 7 of 9 from the line. Gavin Blewett, he had 13 points after coming alive in the second half. He only had 2 points at the break. He ends up with 13 total, 1 of 3 from the line. Drew Pabin, all of his scoring coming in the fourth quarter. He had 5 total points, 1 field goal and 3 free throws. He was 3 of 8 from the free throw line. Cole Peterson with a point. He had 1 of 3 from the free throw line in the second quarter. Also, Elijah Ginenbacher, we won't forget him. He had 8 total points. He had the first 2 threes to start the game for the Panthers. If you were going to find something to look at for Central to work on for Friday, 12 of 23 is their final stat from the charity stripe.
Not very good. Should we try to go catch Coach Jordan, see if we can get him to come up and talk to us?
Sure.
We'll take a break. We'll be back here on TSSR Game Time Live in just a few minutes. We're going to see if we can grab Coach Jordan from the Patriots as they conclude a great season, probably one of the best in a long, long time for Peoria Heights. So hang with us if you're from Peoria Heights. We'll be back in a few minutes here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
I went through MDH when we were trying to get pregnant. We were struggling the first year, and then when we got pregnant, I stayed at MDH and through labor and now for pediatrics. My experience was nothing short of phenomenal. I was met with amazing staff members who helped me through concerns that I had when she was first born, helping me learn how to be a new mom. It was really reassuring and comforting knowing that I had so much support and kindness around me. My entire pregnancy at MDH was amazing.
MTC Communications is building a high-speed fiber network in our community, and we're putting priority on the areas with the greatest interest. That means we need your input to let us know you want us to build fiber in your area first. Experience the speed and convenience of fiber internet by visiting our special website and registering. Let us know you want fiber internet today, and make your voice heard.
Welcome back here as Jake has went down to try and get Coach Jordan to come up and talk to us after a great season for Peoria Heights. Of course, the season will continue for Coach Barnett and the Central Panthers. Joe, we'll be back. Both of us will be back tomorrow night for the Illini Bluffs Peoria Christian game. I know the live chat got a little crazy, guys. I deleted a few chats as we were going along here. We asked that you keep it as clean as possible, and you can voice your opinion but not get personal, and definitely not say anything that's on the side of being uncouth, so to speak. But so tomorrow night it will be Illini Bluffs and the Peoria Christian. So a couple Peoria schools. So oddly enough, we covered with TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH. We covered two sectionals, a 2A and a 1A. Both of them had two Peoria schools in it. Of course, Peoria Heights here, or Peoria area schools, I should say. Peoria Heights in this one, and Peoria Christian tomorrow against Illini Bluffs, and Illini Bluffs is just outside of Peoria for that matter. And then the 2A had Peoria Notre Dame as well as Peoria Manual. Peoria Manual plays against Macomb tomorrow night in Canton. That game will be live as well here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. We want to thank everybody for watching. Again, if we can snag Coach Jordan in the next couple of minutes, we're going to have him on. If not, we will end the stream when Jake comes back up, but hopefully he will be able to snag Coach for a few minutes before we head out. So we'll take another quick break. We'll be back on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, right after this.
I chose the MDH OBGYN group because I've heard wonderful things about Dr. Smith. And upon entering the office, I really got along with everybody and got a warm feeling. The staff is warm and inviting and welcoming. It's a small community, so it's a really nice hospital to have here in the rural area. I continue to choose MDH because of the relationships I have. I really enjoy everybody here.
MTC Communications is building a high-speed fiber network in our community, and we're putting priority on the areas with the greatest interest. That means we need your input to let us know you want us to build fiber in your area first. Experience the speed and convenience of fiber internet by visiting our special website and registering. Let us know you want fiber internet today, and make your voice heard.
We're always moving. Scratch that. We're always moving forward. But forward can sometimes look a little backwards. Or like circles. Or like nothing at all. But we never stop. We never stop. Because life never.
Well, medical field, and then growing up I actually went through physical therapy myself for an injury, and that got me back to my
Dry needling is where you insert a filiform needle into a muscle, a tendon, a ligament, sometimes a bone, and it promotes blood flow and circulation so that it heals that particular painful area.
Welcome back. Still waiting on Coach Jordan to come back up here. Some live chat going on about the Peoria Notre Dame women's as best team in 2A history. I don't know. I haven't seen enough 2A girls basketball to know if they're the best team in 2A history, but I'll tell you what. I saw them at the Tornado Classic earlier this year when they played Camp Point Central Southeastern, and they looked okay. They were a good team. I didn't think they were great. I just covered the two teams from the two games at the sectional, and they are legit, folks. If somebody beats Peoria Notre Dame's girls teams at the state tournament, it will be amazing that that happens, because they are, at least in these games that we've seen, have been hitting on all cylinders. And the Wardle girls are so good. And then you have Cassidy thrown in there, Caitlin Cassidy, and you have Bear thrown in there. They are a total 5, 7, 8-player team that's going to be very tough for anybody to upend at Bloomington Normal this weekend. So we'll see how things work out or change there, but they are going to be very, very tough for anybody to beat. Yeah, Candace Parker's Naperville Central teams, yeah, they would have been tough as well, but it's a tough deal. So it looks like Coach Jordan is still inside, so we will go ahead and end this, as it sounds like he's taking some time with his team, which is completely understandable. We will move on to look forward to tomorrow night. If you have not seen Illini Bluffs, the Tigers, probably the player that everybody talks about is number 44, Hank Alvey. He's a 6'9" senior, power forward, and can shoot the three. Very good ball player, but Devin White is outstanding. Toby Cooper, who was in the live chat earlier, is very good as well. And then you have Wyatt Hendel, another senior who plays extremely well as well. They're just very good. Josh Vaughn can come off the bench and hit some shots. Jaden Washington, a great player as well. So that should be a great game. Peoria Christian comes into tomorrow night as a regional champion as well. And we'll talk more about them as we move on. Malachi Persinger. The Persingers is a name that very familiar if you're familiar with Peoria Christian at all. We'll get Jake back under the headset for a minute. Understandable, Coach in with the locker room for an extended period of time. End of a great season for Peoria Heights.
Yeah, end of a great season for them, but, you know, it's still tough because some of those seniors are playing their last game tonight. And I'm sure that it's a scene in there that he needs to be there for.
Yeah, definitely. So, Jake, any last thoughts here for this this first semifinal, and what do you expect out of tomorrow night?
Well, I kind of had this one circled on my calendar a long time ago, and the first one, I think, outlived my expectation.
Yeah,
so
I would agree.
If this thing is anything like this the next couple nights, you're going to get your money's worth and you watched for free.
Yeah, exactly. So hopefully we can see a lot of you in here tomorrow night. And we will talk to you again very, very soon. We thank you for watching. For Jake Croxton, for Brianna Cameron, I'm Dwayne Hulett. 48-44 the final. The Panthers survive and advance with a win over Peoria Heights. We'll see you tomorrow night about 5 till 7 for Illini Bluffs and Peoria Christian. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you again very soon.